All right, guys, I wanted to do another supplement video, more educational style. Definitely off the cuff. This is not really going to be edited, but there's some presentation sort of slide thing I'll go through. I think it'll really help you stop wasting money on supplements. I think a lot of us just buy things because we think we may need them or we have expendable cash, a couple hundred, $300 on hand, and we throw it at whatever marketing grabs us. So this will definitely clear a lot up for you guys. And even if you think you know a ton about health supplements and all that, definitely stick around because I'm sure you'll learn something. I'm just going to go through all these and all different types of scenarios for whoever, wherever, and whatever goal you might have. So, mainly in the context of fat loss, been a busy guy or blue collar guy, working 50, 60 plus hours a week is usually the type of dude that's just going to grab whatever he can grab. And not to say he's going to get preyed on by these marketing gimmicks, but they might sound good or sound better for him because the lifestyle is so extensive. But yeah, let's get into the first one. I mean, yeah, obviously supplements are support, they're not the system. Ideally, you would want to get everything from your diet. I mean, even stuff like creatine, we would like to get that from steak alone, but not all of us are going to eat steak sirloin tips 6 times a day. So we supplement 5, 10 grams of creatine for that reason. I mean, a lot of the supplements and stuff, things we would supplement, are found in our food. A lot of them are amino acids, if you don't even realize. L-carnitine's an amino acid. It's another one. L-glutamine's an amino acid. Taurine's an amino acid. No, no, taurine's an antioxidant. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, you want to fix what actually moves fat loss, meaning if you're taking a bunch of fat burners, or I mean, even if you're just taking one, you have really no idea what it is. It's a mix of stuff. Let's fix that in the sense that let's take that out and really see where your diet's at. I mean, you're probably not at the tail end of your cut. If you are, okay, cool. You're loaded up on the fat burners. You got 2 weeks left. Crack on. I'm not here to tell you how to finish off your cut. That's when they can be used as tools for sure. The last 2, 3 weeks of a cut, you've already lost 20, 30 pounds. Your metabolism's probably not going too much further on its own. So yeah, you give it a little kick, finish out the cut strong, and then slowly start to rebound. Definitely cut what distracts, meaning cut the stuff you got to take 3 times a day, twice a day, time it 2 hours pre-workout. I mean, who wants to think about and do that? It's just added stress, simplicity. Really, your pre-workout doesn't have to be exactly a half an hour, or your pre-workout meal doesn't have to be exactly an hour and a half pre-workout. It might be the best thing on paper, yeah, sure, but work's gonna go a little longer one some days. It might go shorter other days, but for the most part, life's not the same unless you have a desk job from your house, or I don't know, you're a stay-at-home mom. But for most of us, the week to week, day to day is completely different. So we need something that's simple and just get it in is a really good approach and philosophy to follow, I'll say. This is $200 a month trap. This could more be like a $500, $600 a month trap. And the pre-workouts nowadays are insane. $60, $70, $80 I've seen. Most of that you really don't need. The last 6 to 8 months, I haven't been taking that many pre-workouts. Once, twice a week if I feel like I need it. But it's not going to move the needle that much. It's at 1, 2% maybe if you need the energy in the gym. But if you do grab a daily driver, a simple one, $30, $40. Don't. Yeah, I mean, most health supplements are you buy what you pay for, but pre-workout is you don't buy what you pay for. You get screwed, to say the least. And the obvious is to fix your sleep and your food timing so you don't fall into the low energy trap. If you stall or if you're in a spot where you shouldn't think fat burners are needed to learn to lose fat, you should know by now, or I hope you know by now, that fat burners are used as a tool. We can throw them in for a couple weeks, see how we respond, take them out, throw them back in. Or if you know how you respond to certain fat burners, just save them for the last month, 3 weeks of your cut. It should not be something we start with at all. I mean, ideally, we want to start with like 5-10 minutes of walking. That's going to be our fat burner to start our cut. So let's cut fat burners out completely, and calories and steps you can equate. Most fat burners are just energy booster, unless you want to take Clen or DMP, something that actually increases the metabolism. Most of them aren't going to do much on that aspect. So you drop the fat burner, throw another 2,000 steps in. Perfect. A lot of the fat burners too are just appetite pills, like it says here. Clean all those high end stim burners, like harsh drugs, I'll say. Yeah, they're gonna work. And they're not only gonna blunt appetite, but they will burn fat on their own to an extent. Over the counter stuff you're buying at the supermarket, you save your money, please. I mean, hit your protein targets and buy better weekends. Just have better structured weekends so you don't binge eat Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday you feel like shit. So you're like, I'll restrict my calories like crazy, and then appetite becomes an issue. If you're already taking fat burners, it becomes almost subconscious to just increase whatever appetite suppressant you're using, even if it's nicotine, caffeine. And you get weak pumps. So you're like, oh, I need a pump, or I need this. Maybe you don't even get weak pumps. Maybe you want to see how crazy your pumps can get. So you're going to do glycerol, tadalafil, all these different, what's the nitrogen, L-citrulline. You're gonna do L-citrulline malate on top of that. Maybe you're gonna crank sodium. There's a bunch of stuff guys do. And simply put, carbs and hydration. Fill the muscle with glycogen, and glycogen's gonna retain water. It's gonna pull water into the muscle cell. So focus on carbohydrates. And then if you have extra cash, you want a crazy pump, yeah, sure. But I mean, if you have that mindset, just take in a draw. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. Yeah, all right, this is a good pyramid to go through here. So, I mean, let's look at our calories and our protein. All right, cool. We got those in check. We've been tracking them for a couple weeks. We know where our body weight is or our lean body mass is relative to our protein intake. You can do a quick Google search on that if you're confused. But the lean body mass is the amount of muscle you have on your frame. So, a 200-pound guy and your 20% body fat, we'll say, and your lean body mass is 160 pounds. So, that's your skeletal structure and your muscle mass. Yeah, so we got this all in check. All right, cool. Then we move to training and steps. Get that in line with our goals. Make sure we're not overtraining, undertraining, overstepping, understepping. From there, obviously, you would want to look at sleep and hydration. And keep going from there. You kind of get what I'm saying. But the last thing you want to do is flip the pyramid. So supplements first, or even I could get blood work to see what supplements I can take because supplements are the only way I can make progress. And then you do one and two, and three's all over the place. You're playing Fortnite till 2 a.m. You're not sure what a freaking the 36-ounce bottle is. Your training and your steps are sporadic. You're going 3 times a week with all your 6 broccoli head friends, and then you're like, oh, maybe I should track my calories. And you're spending $500-600 a month on supplements. If you're watching this and this sounds crazy to you, this is what I hear on a daily basis. Um, That's why I said this is a perfect pyramid. Start here. I mean, I'd pretend like I can't block it. Maybe I could block it off like this. Yeah, I'd pretend 1 and 2 aren't even a thing. It's like focus on 3, 4, and 5 here. These are in perfect. Now you're a bodybuilder. You're actually building your body with these 3 right here. And okay, cool. We get blood work to make sure, honestly, to make sure, your liver, your kidney, like you would do your yearly blood work with your doctor, unless you're taking different supplements. You're taking Anadrol, D-ball, Deca. If you're on the natural side, you want to look at your vitamin D levels, your cortisol levels. You could check your testosterone if you wanted to. But I've seen guys 300, 200 nanograms per deciliter, and they feel fine. They function fine. Their free testosterone's in a good range. That's a completely different video in and of itself. But a lot of guys just look at that number and are like, I need TRT. Like, well, what if you're genetically at 250 and your body's using 20% of it? That could be in range with a guy that's at 1,000 only using 2% of his. So it's, like I said, it's a completely different video in and of itself. Yeah, focus on these 3 and then move to 1 and 2. And 1 and 2 are more of an advanced topic. That would be a coach conversation for sure. At least myself, I was like, I'm gonna need to get some advice for this 5, 6 years ago. So, yeah, this question I added to it's what problem am I trying to solve with this supplement? So I'm taking, I don't know, caffeine, for example. We'll start. What am I trying to solve with this? So I'm trying to solve my shitty car rides to work. Cool. Trying to solve my lack of energy pre-workout. Okay, cool. I'm trying to solve my 4 hours of sleep. Okay, not cool. Right? It's like, all right, I'm taking ashwagandha. Okay, it lowers cortisol. I'm less stressed throughout the day. Okay, cool. I'm taking it because I got relationship stress, or I got this, or I got that. It's like all of these are tools. The last thing we want to do is take supplements to, what's the word I'm looking for? To try and mask these. If you don't have the foundation here and you're taking supplements to try and sleep better when you haven't even, like these, you haven't even worn blue light, black, blah, 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 blah. I told you this was going to be unedited. You haven't worn blue light blockers, or you haven't tried to put your phone aside 2 hours before you go to bed, or tried a sleep routine of any kind. And again, hydration. You're taking all these electrolyte hydration powders, but you don't carry around a giant water bottle with you everywhere you go. You can go down the list. You guys know what I'm talking about by now. But a good audit system to use. It's like, keep protein, creatine, electrolytes if you need them. The body's just gonna piss out what it doesn't need. So, like a multivitamin, it's always good to just cap it off. That's kind of my same philosophy with super greens too. It's good to just cap it off. You might not need it, but the body's not gonna, unless it's mercury or lead or something we don't have a metabolism pathway for. Your body's not gonna keep extra vitamin C or hang on to extra vitamin D because it's naturally occurring and the body has an excretion pathway. It's a little more complex, but vitamin D, omega-3, magnesiums, these are staples. It's half an hour. I told the body to take these. Magnesium, definitely just to sleep and for overall health, joint health, support metabolism. Even you go down the whole rabbit list with all these. This is a hormone too. So get blood work done, or if you do get blood work done, ask your doctor to test this. It's vitamin D hydroxylase is the test, I think. They might look at you like, why? Be like, oh, I don't know. I want to see if it's too high. Make something up. They don't care. They just need an excuse. But yeah, so that's a hormone, and it's usually on a reference range of 0 out of 100. And if it's a hormone, we want to get the most bang for our buck. We'd want to run it on the higher end. So 5,000 IUs puts me right in the middle. 10,000 IUs puts me at like 80, 90. So top end reference range is what we want to see. A lot of guys are in the sun all day long. I'm really not. So I take more than the average, but 5,000, 2,000's a good starting point. 1,000, like what are we doing with 1,000? Could these help? I guess is a good question. Like we talked about with the fat burners, are you in that phase right now? Super greens, are you in a cutting phase? So you're eating a bunch of greens already for volume and you don't need to supplement it, then don't take it. Or vice versa, you're in a bulk, you're not eating a lot of greens because the rice, pasta, potatoes, all that stuff's voluminous. That's the right word. Voluminous as it is. So you're not eating as many greens. Yeah, I'd supplement it in that sense. Berberine too. That's a DPP4 inhibitor, so you could supplement that in the context of a high carbohydrate meal or multiple high carbohydrate meals throughout the day, split. You'll find this in a lot of what they call carb blockers, slim pills. I'm missing the word. There's a lot of supplements in here. I guess I should have taken some notes. It'll come to me. Glucose disposal agents, GDAs, that's what they are. So you'll find berberine in a lot of GDAs because it's a DPP4 inhibitor. It's going to lower your fasting. I won't call it fast. It's going to lower your glucose levels if you take it like 10 to 15 minutes before a meal. And thus, when you do eat the carbs, the response will be higher. So your pancreas will push out more insulin. Thus, the nutrient partitioning and glucose curve will be more stable. That's the idea of those. Metformin's taken for that reason as well. Blanket statement: if you're going to take this, take it around a high carb meal or take it at night with a carb meal before bed, because the DPP4 inhibitors do prevent the breakdown of insulin and IGF-1. So sleeping and slowing the rate at which IGF-1 is broken down will definitely result in more muscle gain over time. Underrated supplement for sure. Yeah, cut all this fucking shit out. Please don't take PCAs. Please don't. If you're going to take that, take ECAs or EAs, essential amino acids. It's got all of them. Why would you take 3? I still don't know why people make money on this, but they do. I don't know. I think a decade ago it should have been cut off the market. But they have the detox teas, the weight loss teas, the test boosters. Just throw it out, bro, please. And we just went through this, the basic stack that makes sense. It's like, especially if you're busy, you know what I mean, timing, splitting up my L-carnitine, splitting up my. Even this, the creatine. I'm pre-workout, post-workout, before bed, in the morning. If you can explain to me why it matters, other than the pump pre-workout, maybe. But again, it's like the pump comes from the increase in ATP, which is muscle energy, which is gonna take hours to actually downstream increase ATP levels in the muscle cell. So why are we worried about the timing of creatine? It's never made sense to me. It's in steak, and we're not eating steak pre-workout. That's for sure. So anyway, I just think people like to get into the nuances and take it 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It works to an extent. Is it steroids? No, it's not fucking steroids. To be honest, once you reach a certain amount of muscle mass, you creatine here, there. I don't notice it. I really don't. I mean, if it's placebo for you, awesome. Keep it in. Keep cranking that, whatever schedule you're doing. But basic, busy, keep it simple lifestyle. Protein powder, electrolyte here and there. Especially if you're in the sauna, keep that in. Creatine, 5-10 grams, get that in, and then caffeine. I wouldn't go more than 700 milligrams a day, and that's a little high, but if you get a good tolerance, 300, 350 split between morning and pre-workout, I don't see that as a problem. Anything above 400 on a metabolic standpoint is considered a fat burner, so yeah, you could definitely leverage that, but don't take too much. You'll end up in the ER with heart palpitations. I'm not really sure what I was saying with this one, but health supplements should be matched to the actual gap. So, I mean, I guess the like health gap, the what you're trying to fix. You shouldn't buy blindly. I don't just tell people to buy everything. You can if you want to. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with a kitchen sink approach if you're rich. But I guess if you're watching this far, you're probably not rich. You're trying to dial in the supplements and take what actually works, what's going to elicit some sort of response or solve the health gaps that you have. But like we talked about here, most people, it's like 60% of the US is low in vitamin D. So take a D2 or D plus K2 supplement, meaning K2, you could take a K complex, but most people just take vitamin K2 because you need vitamin K to synthesize vitamin D. So without vitamin K, you take as much vitamin D, it's not that it's not going to stay in blood serum, but it's not going to stay in blood serum for very long. Yeah, you could Google that one. That one's a pretty in depth, just the relationship those two have. It's fascinating too if you wanted to look into it. This obviously we want more omega 3s than omega 6s, and then a seed oil day and age. Even if you're eating clean, I mean, we're exposing ourselves to seed oils on a weekly basis without trying to. So it definitely is. If you're 80 years old or if you're 15 years old, I would take omega 3s and magnesium as well. Actually, glycinate or bisglycinate too to just get that over with. All the other ones, citrate's got its purpose, but this is what we're looking for here. Magnesium bisglycinate is what I should have wrote. These are just some sleep quality muscle cramps. You do kind of want like 1600 or 1800 milligrams of magnesium per day. It's something pretty high. A lot of people don't get enough from their food either. So I'd start slow, like 200 milligrams, bump it up to 100 milligrams. Ideally, you want to take it with every meal, but I would just start at night, start 200 milligrams for a week, see how that goes, 400 milligrams. Magnesium, go to the point where I mean, not to the point where you're like shitting your brains out, but to the point where you're like, all right, my digestion's a little messed up, and then come back down. So if you're like 200, 400, 600, 800, all right, come back down to 600. The high quality multi is always decent to grab. CoQ10 or ubiquinol, NAC. I put those two in because, I mean, definitely today's day and age, our liver's doing a lot of work for us. That's especially if you're younger, partying here and there. NAC is a precursor to glutathione, and that's going to detox the liver or help detox the liver. I tell it to guys like you're just giving your liver more troops to metabolize and break down all the shit that we eat and take in on a day-to-day basis, especially in those enhanced bodybuilding contexts. And CoQ10 is the precursor to ubiquinol, but that's a uh, very, very powerful antioxidant. It's going to eliminate a lot of God, it's late, free radicals in the blood, which are going to cause oxidative stress, and that's the whole purpose for antioxidants is to eliminate and not metabolize, but break down free radicals. So you look into that one. The body also makes CoQ10 on its own, and NAC is a precursor to something your body makes on its own as well. So nothing, they're all supplements, not drugs. I mean, this one's a good one to go over. The fat loss helpers are where most guys get sloppy. We went over berberine a little bit, glucose support with some of your GDAs, which, like I said, can be useful, very, but it's not going to erase a cheat meal or 10 cheat meals every day. It can help you process the carbs if you're not used to having such a giant insulin spike. Um, Especially if you're on the more muscular end, you're dieting for quite some time, and then all of a sudden you have a ton of carbs. The body's going to be like, thank God, and your pancreas is going to rip insulin. And you find a lot of guys 2-3 hours go legit hypo, and they're eating ice cream, and then they're eating cake again. So it's like your blood sugar's like up, down, up, down. You're like a maniac diabetic on paper. So use this in the right context for sure. Metformin as well. I don't recommend MK677, but if you're taking that, I'd probably throw some metformin in. It's argued that metformin is going to lower IGF-1 and you're not going to build muscle, but if you're 10xing your IGF-1 levels with MK677, yes, it definitely does that too. It works. For those of you that don't agree with it, it's just horrible for your fasting glucose levels. It's going to raise IGF-1 all day long, liberating fatty acids into the bloodstream for 24 hours. So, yeah, an extended release metformin makes a lot of sense. Another context that makes sense is if you're an actual diabetic on insulin, you could take MK677 and just increase your insulin dose. That's not, none of this is doctor advice. I guess I should have said that to start, but none of this is doctor advice, or don't listen to some gym bro on the internet. Yeah, we already went over some of these carb blockers and fat burners to avoid. Structure your meals and spend another 50, $60 on higher quality meats or higher quality pastas. Just better tasting food that you can eat if you're doing 3 meals of beef pasta and broccoli or whatever change it up, make it taste good so you can eat 4 of those meals and you're not snacking at night. Yeah, I mean, if money matters, definitely stop buying all this shit here. The test boosters, detox tea. If any of this is on your list and you're not making more than 10 grand a month, don't buy any of this stuff. It's to God, it's not worth it. It's a little bit of a side tangent, but yeah, MK677 works, but it's not an appetite tool. It does not make really any sense in a fat loss context whatsoever, and really doesn't make much sense for a lot of people. I said the diabetic dude that has the option to increase his insulin, yeah, sure. Somebody that has access to metformin, those are both prescriptions. So I wouldn't mess with MK677. It's not worth the ROI at all. This, if you can afford it, obviously you're probably not here if you can afford GH. So, but if you can, then yeah, they find a source right there. Um, or follow me on Instagram, and we'll figure something out. I'm a coach. I don't sell drugs. I don't do any of that. This is just a side tangent. This is more of an education risk awareness warning right here. Not medical advice, just what I see in the industry. A lot of peptides too. People are using that. Looks max and fuck. You guys are just coping for your shit fucking habits, your cocaine addictions, and fix your life, bro. I don't even need to talk about fucking SARMs. Why I put that on here? It's way too late. I'm gonna get fucking fired up, right? These are just broken down into like 2 busy guy stacks, but both of these are in the context of practical creatine, electrolytes, caffeine, magnesium, vitamin D, all the stuff we went over earlier. Protein powder is definitely as needed. I had a guy tell me today actually that he wasn't taking protein powder and he threw it in and started making progress or noticeable changes. In that context, yeah, that scenario is situation definitely. You're eating good, high protein as it is, and then you supplement 20, 40, maybe 50 grams on top of that daily. What's that? 350 grams of protein a week extra. Yeah, so you're synthesizing another, it's realistically only another like 3 or 4 grams of protein in that week, but it's still a lot more than he was previously, and it's a lot more on his frame, noticeable changes. So, yeah, these are a good little, I wouldn't call it a 10-minute supplement audit, but you could take a second and screenshot this if you wanted to and come back to it at a later date and go through your supplement cabinet. But I still run through this to this day. It's like, all right, what am I taking right now? Okay, got it. What does each supplement that I'm taking right now solve, and why specifically am I trying to solve this? Okay, got it. Is that problem actually caused by poor structure? Is this a genetic problem? Is this a lifestyle problem? Can I fix this problem with poor structure? Okay, got it. Would I still need this if meal, steps, sleep, and protein were handled? If sleep and protein were handled, would I still need this? Got it. So, and then the final question, should I keep this or should I cut it? What is the answer to all these questions? Once you run through these four, you're like, okay, I mean, pretty much by question three, you'll know if it's actually worth it. So, ashwagandha, we could start. Why do I take it? All right, I'm taking ashwagandha right now because on blood work, my cortisol level was a little bit high, and downstream, ashwagandha can lower it. Okay, got it. What does ashwagandha supposedly solve? Well, supposedly I'm taking it so it can solve my low or my high cortisol levels. Okay, cool. Is that Can this be solved by poor structure? Okay, let's think about that. I'm sleeping 8 to 9 hours a day. I'm working decently hard. Work stress is decently high, but nothing out of the norm. Okay, so yeah, I think it can't be solved by better structure. And then four, okay, would I still need this if everything was in check? My sleep protein, so we just went through that pretty much here too. It's like everything's in check, meals are in check, steps, sleep. But due to the lifestyle I'm living, or just environment I'm in indefinitely, my cortisol level is high. Whether that's genetic, who knows? All right, cool. Does this make sense? Yes, I'll keep this supplement. You can kind of run through that. All the other ones you don't have to run through these omega, magnesium, vitamin D, creatine, protein. But if there's something on this list that like we didn't go over, you didn't see, run it through here based on your knowledge. Obviously, you can DM me on Instagram if you have any questions about any supplements or need any clarity on anything. But I would definitely screenshot this and save it, reference it at a later date if need be. But this, like looking at it, you probably have an idea as to what you can get rid of and what you can throw out by now. Yeah, I mean these last few slides are just kind of stupid, but these last few slides kind of just what we went over earlier. But yeah, I mean I hope that helped on your supplement knowledge, I'll say, or just give you a little bit of an insight on what's really worth it and like what to throw out. Especially when I started, everything looks great, even though everybody's got a different opinion on this and that, and somebody says take this, somebody says it doesn't work, and then you're left thinking you're the crazy one with a cabinet full of supplements. So don't feel like you're alone. There's a bunch of people that are probably going to watch this video and probably going to go through this 10-minute setup here and see what they need to throw out. So definitely don't feel stupid at all. I mean, if anything, you're trying. You got your cabinet filled with a bunch of, I don't know, a bunch of proof that you're trying to better your life. So supplements and all are definitely really cool. Definitely goes to show that you're somebody that's got this shit locked in. You know, not only looks and diet, but being consistent and having a wide knowledge in supplements, health supplementation in general goes a long way, especially in the fitness industry. All these foods designed to kill us nowadays. So, yeah, I hope this helped. And again, if you have any other questions, DM me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram for more content like this, more in the fat loss context category. But I like to get on here in a longer format and talk about supplements, kind of put my knowledge to paper, let you guys hear it all, and somebody will get some sort of value on it. I know at least my younger self would have loved this video based on my knowledge now. So, yeah, let me know if this helped and if you need anything else. Appreciate you guys watching this far. If you're watching this morning, night, evening, I don't know. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.